the ropes course, we had to go on a very long bus drive. I think it was about 1 hour. But I must say the weather was very, very nice. When we got there, we were all so surprised at how tall it was, and our guides showed us how to go on the ropes course so we would not fall down. We had to get all our stuff ready, and so we got our gloves so we don't get rope burn. And there was a beautiful lake before it, and the weather was so funny. We were all so excited, and at the night there was free birthday parties, free. And then the man who went on an island for 100 days, 300 days, came to show us a PowerPoint about it. When we were rock climbing, I must say the weather was very awful. It was all cloudy, foggy, and it was raining like mad. But still, the rock climbing course was as fun as it should be. There was all different levels, and we were all taking pictures of them. It was so fun. Everybody was happy, and we played a lot of games like Uno and Jungle Speed, and it was very fun. And it was all so colorful. Before we got to the Alpine Zoo, we had to go on a very, very, very long bus ride, and it was all so foggy. But when we got there, we were all so happy to be there, and we looked at all the animals. It was so fun. We looked at owls, deer, fish even, bears, and it was all of the animals in the Alpine Zoo. We were all so happy, but I must say there was a long bus ride because there was a very big hill that we had to go up to get there. And we had to all write in our journals what type of animals and how they helped the ecosystem. And then also it was the most funnest time, and then we got to share them. It was so fun. Before we got up on the hill to make our animal houses, we had to go on a very long hike. And we definitely saw 3 or more airplanes that day. I mean helicopters coming by. And it was all the best time. And when we got up, and before we got up, we all collected all these rocks, like small rocks, but not that big, because otherwise we couldn't carry them up, and sticks and leaves or whatever. And then when we came up, we made groups to build our animal houses, and this was all based on the artist Andy Goldsworthy, who makes like sculptures with nature. So we made our animal houses. I think some of the boys in our class made an animal house with a swimming pool in the backyard. It was so fun, and everybody was very, very happy. When we saw these very snowy mountains, that was on one of our hikes that day. And when I took this picture, there was a whole place, and there was like about 50 worms with it. And there was a forest, and I went for a shortcut up that forest. It was so fun. And there was a ginormous rock that we all put our hands around to see if we could take all of us to do it. And then when we were going back down, we all ran down or rolled down the hills. It was so fun that day. It was kind of foggy also that day. And that night, we had a couple's birthday party. It was amazing. On the way to the Glacier Museum, we were all chatting all the way. So funny. And then when we finally got there, we had a tour guide to show us around, and it was all about the Great Glacier in Verbier. And then we learned about Selesabukta, and that was a goat that got saved, and so he got a ring on the right side of his ear, instead of all the others that got it on the left side. And so then we got this journal, as you can see in the picture, to write down all what we learnt and questions that we had. It could be about anything. And that day it was very sunny, like it started getting cold in the evening. And that day, when we had free time, I went on the trampoline. It was so fun. When we were making the animal houses, Olivia and I got the jobs to get like the cement that we made to stick everything together so it could all stand up and be solid, so it wouldn't just crash down. The day was very sunny, and our group really wanted to make a swimming pool, but unfortunately we couldn't because we didn't make our house by a river. But anyway, we had the most funnest time, and then everybody shared all their animal houses with each other, and the teachers and then we got to explain what it was, and it was really fun. This, I think, was our last day in Verbier. When we got this picture taken, it was on one of our very many hikes. And this is the time when we all put our arms all around this huge rock, and I went up a shortcut in the forest. It was so fun. It was kind of foggy and it was very cold, and in the end we got to collect all these things that our guide had taken, and we had to collect them and make a big picture. That day we did a lot of games. It was very fun. When we went to the Alpine Zoo, we saw all these very, very interesting animals that lived in that area. There was this one called Mouflon, and then we also saw this cute little deer. This was our animal house that we were making, and it was for our bugs. And there was a little stream close by. It was really fun, and we also found other house that the other group made, and it was quite good for ants, I think. This is a picture of Group A girls, and this is one of our hikes, and it was so fun. Our hikes, they were so fun. We didn't never pull out bras or thongs because of that kind of effect with growth, and then that is not good. So we always let them be when we went on our nature. This is how the Group A girls made out of all the stuff that we had to try and find. It was supposed to be a sun, and on that day we played a lot of games. It was really fun. The day was kind of windy, but it was also kind of sunny, and we saw a couple of really big mountains.